So this is a little different. Instead of Creeper World 4, we have Creeper World IXE, which is a new demo on Steam. And we're gonna check it out. First things first, we need to bring in our Apex ship. So that'll literally phase into reality. And then need to get the economy set up first. So these reactors will attach to the ground in a few different spots. Not to get too crazy initially because we do need to hold our energy for a little bit, but the reactors help us get more. And there's a crystal right here that's good for some upgrades. So we're just gonna dig through the earth to get to that. While everything else is kicking into motion, we have Creeper filling up like crazy in these little caverns. There's robots in the way. And there's also an A core here, which we need to make sure we utilize. But these digging spots are a little far away for our ship, so we'll bring in a digger. Oh, I guess the end of that crystal tunnel is also a bit far away, but that's no problem at all once our digger starts going. And now we have a clean path to all this A core here. So we'll set up an ore miner. Whoa, hey, and we got the upgrade crystal. So we can upgrade things like, let's upgrade the fire rate, which is also affecting this turret here that I did not place down, but I should also place down some defenses. Oh, especially because we have phantoms coming in soon. So we'll need one of these coil ships. And I guess this would be a C ore instead of A core, wouldn't it? Because this is an ore miner. Oh, okay, and there the phantoms go. Hopefully our coil ship can hold them. And they get zapped and ooh, explosions, fireworks. Oh gosh, the robots are moving. We'll definitely need some more defenses. And we also need to be careful of this because the creeper is working through the sand here. So I have an idea for that. Let's go ahead and get a maker set up over here. This is kind of like the sprayer from Creeper World 4. And our defenses seem to be doing a good job of holding back the creeper here. Oh boy, the robot is getting a little bit adventurous there. And the phantoms are going again. Okay, we probably need a coil ship over here to protect the maker. And then we'll set the maker to dump all of the AC that it's getting. All right, but we need this digger going other places. So let's work our way to this upgrade crystal here. Ooh, and there it goes. It's dumping anti-creeper everywhere, which thankfully does not eat through the sand itself, but this is also getting to be severely packed levels of creeper here. Oh, and both of the phantoms are going this way. That's fine with me. They both get got, ooh, right before it hit the defender there. All right, now I really want to bring in this frigate. Probably up here because it's probably going to be very much needed. And then we need other things going like this couple of defender ships. And then something to make this easier is there's portals here. Thankfully, we don't need one connected right to the ship. Thankfully, we don't need one connected to the Apex ship right away, so we can place them exactly where they're needed. And the defenders are going there, launching rockets at the creeper. That is beautiful. Oh, and there the creeper is bubbling up and out of here. Okay, need to move the maker really quick and get these coil things out of here. Oh, yikes, that was very much pressurized. Let's use these upgrade crystal to increase fire rate again. That should be good. Okay, thankfully we're beating back the creeper that's over here. Oh, and I really don't know where those phantoms are going, but I'm glad they didn't hit this defender here. Okay, so thankfully we're beating this back. And now let's move this digger through the portals to get to all these goodies, because they literally phase through one portal there and come out here. Those are very handy. And the digger will mine up all of this mineral to begin with, because that's good for energy. Now we need to get to this crystal here, and this frigate seems to be doing very well. I wish I had more than one of those, but we're limited on how many we could build. And we also have down here a Digimaker, which is basically laying down a sort of mesh for the creeper to move through the terrain. That's annoying. Also, look at how much creeper there is in this cavern here. That is so pressurized. But it also looks like there's a pressurized amount of anti-creeper here, which we could probably release into there for a little bit of assistance. And now we have that upgrade point. Let's go ahead and just max out our fire rate, which it looks like we need to move the frigate further down into a position because our main objective here is to activate these IXE cores, or we destroy this rift inhibitor here. And I feel like there's a bit of resistance here because we need to destroy this terrain that's down here in order for our ship to get through places, and also to get to this IXE core, which also exposes the robots to do things. So we'll definitely need some more defenses going on there. But now the rockets from the gunners can actually go way further in. Okay, and there the robots are. Oh, get them please. Oh, there's a lot of them. Yikes. Whoa, I think we're beating them back. That was very close though. Okay, our frigate seems to be doing the most that it can here with only being able to send rockets down as it is. Are there other upgrade points? Okay, there are. None that we can really get to right now. I also don't know what this Angorium does. It's kind of flowy, and there's more robots being made because the spawner is here as well. So we probably need to work down into this cavern here. Ooh, but this X core is exposed, and now it's activated. So that's 1 out of 4 that we need. And I might see about switching around some of these things. Like we'll get the frigate ship down here, and then we'll put out a few of these gunners up here because they're smaller, so they can get into more confined spaces. And the frigate does super good against the creeper right now. That's amazing. And then we'll also move this coil ship further up, so it's like a frontline defense against the phantoms. Oh wait, the emitter is going down there. I need to nullify it. Okay, thankfully we can build a nullifier basically anywhere. Need to get that emitter nullified before it hurls itself into the abyss down here. Okay, now that it is built, it needs to charge up. And then once it's charged up, we can move it right in range of the emitter here, as long as things protect it, which it looks like, yeah, it will. And then it starts to nullify the emitter. And, nope. Oh no, the robot destroyed it, you jerk. Okay, let's get another defender going over here. Maybe just move the, oh, we can't move the frigate here because the X core is in the way. Why do you gotta be right in the way? All right, this gunner isn't doing anything actually. And that defender just got nuked. Okay, this defense seems to be working a lot better. Let's try the nullifier again. And then we'll get one ready over here as well because we'll need one for this guy. Okay, nullifier is charged up again. Let's move it right next to the gunner here. See how far the robot gets? Oh, the robot gets kind of far. Let's try and get it right up here because the robots are in range of all the guns that I have. Please, oh no, it got disabled because it got hurt. Oh, those robots are so annoying. Why did this emitter have to go way over here? Okay, we have more defenders though, so let's bring them over here. And that seems to be working better to hold back the robots. Yeah, they're not getting nearly as far. Okay, let's just move this emitter because it's ready. And then keep it in range of the frigates like so. Come on, nullifier, do your thing. And oh, the emitter bounced out of range. Why does it gotta be so annoying like that? Oh wait, no, it's not out of range, it's breaking line of sight. Come on. Yes, we got it. Oh, we disabled that emitter, perfect. Good, which also released a ton of embers everywhere. That was kind of fun. Okay, so now we don't have to worry about that emitter anymore. And we can keep a lot of things going here just to hold off this choke point that the robots go through. Which, if they can do this without the frigate, I can move it back over here. And, oh no, those phantoms reach those defenders there, so they release a bunch of creeper. Oh, that is not good. I shouldn't have moved the frigate. Bring it back. I'm sorry. I made my mistake. Move the defender out of here. Need to move, oh gosh, need to move more things out of here. See, I was about to shift around some of the upgrades, so it goes from fire rate to firing range so we can get into this pit, but I think we still need fire range right now. Oh, and the X core got deactivated. It's fine though, we can bring it back. Okay, and we brought this back too. Okay, so now the frigate doesn't have to be there for emergencies anymore. Need to bring back the defenders. We'll keep them behind the coil ship. And this passage is gonna be difficult to get through because this creeper is super packed now. Now I should probably find somewhere else to dig through. What if we got to this cavern from underneath? Because this rock here is, we can't dig through it. But if we continue this little passage down here, then that'll also relieve some of the upward pressure from the creeper, which I'm gonna really need to find a pressure relief system to go over here. This cavern over here is getting packed full as well. I really need to make use of this compressed anti-creeper over here. But we are getting further down into this little cavern. There's more gaps being made. So let's try and get this gunner down here safely. Hopefully it does. Come on, frigate, keep it safe. Okay, that's in position. Oh man, the backward pressure is kind of working against me right now. We are seeing a new level of water physics here. Instead of being like on a flat plane, it's in a vertical plane. So we basically have a toilet going on right here. But we will do our best to stop the clog of the toilet by charging up another nullifier. And here, let's also get the digger in place to get this mineral here, this Kirkium. This James T. Kirkium, because that also helps with our energy production. Okay, nullifier is ready to go, and thankfully there's no terrain for the emitter to bounce behind here. As long as the gunner can keep it safe, we'll nullify this one as well. There we go. And this should be a lot easier. It got out of range? Come on. There we go. We got it. Okay, now we need to start digging out some more terrain, so there's a bit of pressure release in these caverns here, which we can wait on digging up over here so that this little cavern fills up with anti-creeper, just as an initial line of defense. Also, that X-core bounces around like crazy. So does this one, and I wish it wasn't so much in the way. Now, I would like to dig through and get to this spawner here to nullify it, as well as this emitter here, but that's gonna be I think, extra difficult compared to here. All right, another thing that we have that I haven't used yet is these cryon ships here. They're kind of shark-shaped. They have digging capabilities, but they also can freeze the creeper, which I think would be a good thing. There we go, the creeper is being frozen, so it stops flowing for a little bit. And then something else the diggers can do is set up a shield, which is a good line of defense, even if it takes a while to build. Okay, let's bring in the second cryon here. I think what I want to try doing is digging a sort of basin here for the creeper to just flow into. So it's kind of like I'm not sure what the water physics term would be for it. This is like an offshoot sort of thing. It's not a permanent shield, but it's a good line of defense. Okay, and this is looking like a lot of anti-creeper stored up here. That's a good sight to see. And do the robots care about the shield? It doesn't look like they do. Oh, they destroy it. That's not good. But we do have a lot of anti-creeper stored up here. I kind of want to pressurize it. Do shields block anti-creeper? I honestly don't know. We'll move this digger into position so that can be built, and then we'll find out. Okay, now they're digging out this basin here, which is giving a second path for the creeper to flow into, which is nice. Okay, let's move this cryon down here so it can dig out the rest of it. Thankfully, they don't need a line of sight to dig out the terrain. Okay, it looks like this relieves some of the pressure, but not to a worthy extent. And it doesn't look like the shield actually blocks anti-creeper. Or actually, it looks like it does. Okay, let's shield up the top here so it becomes like a pressurized anti-creeper tank. Or wait, that would stop the flow from getting down further. Never mind. Okay, our ships are defending solidly here, but we're also not gaining any ground. This cavern is filling up with anti-creeper, but it's also not in large quantities. So it's probably a bad idea to open up right into this cavern here directly. So what I'll do instead is just carve a channel for the anti-creeper to start flowing this way, and then continue to close off this choke point here. I'm also not too sure about this pixelium stuff. I have no idea what that does. If we just dig away a little bit of it, oh, it's physics. I'm not too sure I want that flowing into anywhere. Although, can I destroy it? Okay, looks like I can destroy it, so let's just carve out all of this so I don't have to worry about it. And we'll bring this digger over here to help out the cryon a little bit more. It's really cool that these portals can transport ships too. Okay, that's digging through the cavern a lot better, so that also should give us a bit closer access to this pressurized anti-creeper here. All right, all the pixelium is removed from this cavern here, and then we'll just open up a path right up here so we can actually move ships into it. And then the digger, okay, yes, it does have range to get to this cavern here. It probably won't do too much because there seems to be a lot more creeper in this area than anti-creeper, but we will do what we can. Just carving slowly until we peek into this creeper cavern here, and then we'll let the magic happen. Okay, it seems like the anti-creeper is holding up a little bit of defense, but is quickly being overrun. At least it relieves some pressure from the cavern. Actually, that's a good idea for this space up here, is to just relieve pressure. So our frigate and gunner aren't doing anything over here, so they'll be the line of defense once we open this up, because everything over here is being utilized to defend this sector. Okay, our ships are in position, and we don't have any more that we can use. Unless we bring in the maker over here. Why didn't I think of that? Which also means this coil ship isn't being used over there, and this portal is really only being used to fuel this IXE core so it doesn't deactivate again. That's not really useful, so we'll destroy it. At least we get it back. And we'll make sure this cavern is nice and full before we open up into the creeper down here. This is pretty difficult to think about. Like, in what way do you open up a pressurized container so it doesn't blow up in your face? Okay, this cryon isn't really being used down here anymore. Can I squeeze it in up here? Oh, it looks like the ships can go on top of shields. Neat. Let's also carve out the rest of this space up here so there's a bit more real estate. Oh man, this stuff is getting really pressurized. There's 250 creeper here. And there's also breeder land in here, which is not making this any easier. And it's too bad we can only set up one ore miner here because we are having very empty storage right now. It's getting to the point where it's almost interfering with the anti-creeper dispersal here. And you know what, since I'm not really doing anything right now, I'm just gonna get these nullifiers on standby, as well as get the portals in a bit more direct location, I think. So once those are set up, I can get rid of this one. Okay, this is looking decently well right here. We got a good amount of anti-creeper filling up here. It's about to tip over. All right, I guess it still has a bit of ways to go. There's a lot of volume in this container here, but I think this is as good as we're going to get for a bit. So let's start to, I guess, pop open this can. Okay, there it goes. And sure enough, the creeper is bubbling out. Thankfully at a bit of a slower pace because of all the anti-creeper that's here. Oh, but the robots are coming up this way too, because it's the quickest path to ships. Okay, thankfully we have gunners that can take care of that. At least it means that the shield over here isn't being constantly damaged. Okay, I think we are defending over here well enough. I don't really have any other ships I can bring up to standby. Although this defender over here really isn't firing all that often. Let's bring you over here to defend against the robots. And I wish I had another upgrade point, but they're both buried down here. But the good news is we are relieving pressure in this container here. Or I guess this massive container here because they're connected. It really drops in pressure before filling back up, so it's working. And this creeper isn't bubbling back up over here anytime soon, so that's good news. Okay, so far so good. We're seeing a lot of fluctuating numbers down here into this chamber. Let's try and move one of these ships down into closer position, moving just one of them at a time. And hopefully these two ships down here can hold the line while the frigate gets closer into position. There we go. That's a lot of firepower going down that way. I love it. And we're actually being back to creeper into the chamber it came from, which is good news. I guess this is how you open a pressurized can safely. Just fire supremacy. Sadly though, the release in pressure is not helping our guys up here any. They're just holding the line. Now hopefully once we take over this chamber, we can get rid of that annoying spawner there. Okay, let's move the frigate a bit closer into position. We won't be able to move a ship down into here until we clear up a whole lot of space, which also gives the creeper a bit more room to even out. Bigger cavern means less pressure, which should work in our favor. So it might actually be a good idea to free up as much of this free space as possible that we're not using, just to relieve more pressure. And sure enough, it's working. The creeper isn't immediately rushing to the top of this chamber anymore, which actually seems like enough space for a frigate to get into. It's just got a big old nose that we have to consider. There we go, just enough space right in here. I'm sure our other ships can hold off any robots that come through, but now they're just targeting the frigate. And then we'll bring in the Cryon over here as well to help with the freezing, because that one up there wasn't really doing much. There we go. And we're beating back the creeper that even flowed into here. Very nice. So let's actually move some of these ships down into this cavern, just a little bit at a time. Oh, you're going underneath. Daring, aren't we? There we go. Now we have a lot more firepower consistently going at the creeper. But the anti-creeper also isn't doing the best job of defending up here. Well, it kind of is. There's just still a lot of creeper packed down into here. Even when the rockets detonate, they're not really removing anything. But now we have a good line of defense going there. So let's move the frigate into better position. And then we'll also need this coil ship to go into a bit of a more frontal space. I wonder if I can actually just dig up from underneath all this and then open up like this entire bottom area as like a drain. That honestly might work. Just kind of flush the whole thing out. Okay, that might be something that we can do after we get rid of the spawner here, because those robots would cause some problems. Ooh, but now we have anti-creeper that's actually flowing into this chamber now, so good. Let's close up this path then so it doesn't flow over this way. And thankfully the ships, when they move, can go through shields, just to keep all the anti-creeper flow going this way, which the robots really don't care about. That's the annoying part. But let's move this defender into a better position so it can distract the robots at least. There we go. Now we have a complete shield. And we can also move some of these things into the shield. Let's actually destroy some of this land low 0 placeholder name, so we have more room for the ships to go. Okay, so now the robots are distracted with that. Let's start our design here. Need the big brush for this. Oh, and a big brush indeed. So this hole down here is going to be a giant drain basin thing. Is this more work than I need to do? Probably, but I'm gonna try it. This is what happens when you let me do what I want. And then just a tiny little thing out here for our digger ship to get through. Oh, it actually looks like all down here is sort of like physics stuff. If I had another digger ship, this would be a lot easier, but he's gonna do what he can. Oh, I also didn't account for the phantoms maybe targeting there. Thankfully, I have another coil ship. He'll keep the digger safe. Okay, now let's start moving some of these other defenses up, like this gunner going in front of the shield. And then what sort of range do these nullifiers need to get to that emitter? Needs to be this far over. Wow, that'll take a bit of time. And I really want to open up more space for our frigate to get into, because it's only launching rockets right now, and they're not even getting that deep. I can sort of get it here, but that's dangerous for it. Let's move this gunner up here, and then the frigate can go in the shield area. That's working. And speaking of working, this digger is putting in overtime right now. Oh, I didn't realize that all the pressure up here was gone. Nice. Here, let's just open up a bit more space for our ships to get into. Okay, now we can actually move the defenses up here. I didn't realize how good we were doing. And it's also annoying that the IXE core is right in the path of where I can put ships. Oh, hey, we activated the IXE core down here. Oh, nice, now we have access to those things. Okay, nullifier needs to be kept safe. We'll move some things further into position. Thankfully, one gunner can keep the robots at bay. Okay, but that bubbled up right there. Man, when it flushes down into here, that is dangerous. Okay, but now we have enough room for the nullifier to get to the emitter at least. So the frigate will keep it nice and safe. It'll be like one of those fish that latch onto the whale bottoms. There we go. Emitter getting nullified. And yes, emitter's destroyed. That's actually all of them? Oh, I thought there was one up here. But I guess that's what the rift inhibitor is for. Okay, now the other nullifier that's up here. Hello? Okay, now let's nullify this spawner here so we don't have to worry about any more robots. And then once that's taken care of, we can actually move this portal down into this cavern here. There we go. And the spawner is dealt with. Very good. Now we don't have to worry about robots. Oh, it actually looks like pressure is being relieved immensely into this cavern. I mean, this is a lot of space right here anyway, so maybe I can just kind of open up under there where I can anyway. And we'll just erase my mistakes here. And maybe I can just kind of dig straight to this thing. Not at that sort of angle though. We'll cut across here because I want this crystal, and then up into here. That should be better, I think. And then once the digger breaks through there, we'll need to tell it to get out as soon as possible, because that's gonna be a lot of creeper flowing in its direction. Oh gosh, coil should protect that. Protect that, protect that, protect that. Ah, ooh, thankfully both of them reached it. I need you moved into this position better. Okay, now the maker isn't doing a whole lot of good up here, I don't think. It sort of is, but I should also really get one of these ships to pop open the anti-creeper collection that I have right here, now that there isn't a whole lot of pressure that would overwhelm it. There we go. Anti-creeper flowing in from the top, which will do some level of good. And now we don't need the big frigate to point down this tiny tunnel here, so it'll go back up here, just sucking itself entirely into the portal and then getting immediately to work. This is working really well for being back to creeper. And now this digger should have the range to get to that crystal at least, and maybe finish the rest of this out. But that's gonna be a lot of creeper flowing immediately onto its face, so it'll have to hurry. Come on, break through there, break through there, break through there. Okay, it's broken through. Now, get away. Ooh, there's actually a lot of space opening up down here, so we can actually, we do have some more nullifiers available. So we can nullify the phantom emitter, which would be a very good thing indeed. And I think it actually would be safe all by itself. And then we'll move this maker to be right up here and move some other ships into position because it's gotten very quiet. Oh man, all the sound cut out. There we go. Phantom spawner is nullified in a very Michael Bay fashion. Oh, we're also losing the coil ship over here. Okay, so maybe we won't get this upgrade crystal after all. We're actually exposing the IXE core right now. Good, once that activates, then the rift inhibitor should be dealt with. Oh, there it goes. All of them are going, and aha, we did it, mission success. And that was the last level of the demo. Oh, but there's a bonus mission? There were 2 more levels before that, but they were kind of easy. But a bonus mission, ooh, I'm interested in that. And if you guys are too, then make sure to like the video. Hope you guys enjoyed Creeper World IXE. Yeah, check out the demo on Steam. So thank you guys very much for watching, and sub to Intern. And I'd like to thank the channel members, including Bread, Ancient Elixir 1, Corby Farm, Dakota, Donamoto, Devion X, Lucas, Matthew, Hateful Harold, Peggy Sue, Droop Along, Angel, Lily Bice, The Miner Within, DeGarity, Sands, Isaac, and Miguel.